All right, greetings, everybody. Greetings, Kenny J with G.O.B.E Trade House. I want to welcome everybody to Coffee in the Morning with G.O.B.E. We do this call every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m., giving you motivation, inspiration, and strategy. Guys, I'm very excited this morning. I've been without electricity, water, all right, barely any cell phone service at all for about a week now, all right? So it's been pretty crazy out here in Texas, out here in Houston, Texas, and all across the board, all across the diaspora and Midwest. It's been really crazy with this Arctic storm. All right. So starting last Sunday, the electricity just went out. Right. You know, I was having just a normal night, a normal day. All right. The electricity went out. I just thought it was just going to go out just for maybe a few hours or something like that. Right. And then it just never came back on. Right. The temperature dropped to around 9 degrees. Okay. Which is the lowest in the history out here in Houston, Texas. It's never happened at all. So Houston was definitely not prepared for this Arctic storm at all. All right. Houston is more so prepared for these floods and other events like that. But when it comes to this Arctic storm, we were not set up for it. There's a lot of people out here right now still in the city that does not have any water. I currently still don't have any water right now. I've been able to kind of bounce around from place to place looking for electricity. You know, I was with my parents for a little bit, kind of living like Eskimos. We were all huddled around the fire inside the house, all right, just trying to stay warm. It was very interesting, but I will say it was a very humbling experience. And I'm glad that the sun is out right now in Houston. The snow has melted and people are now starting to get their electricity back, now starting to get their water back on. But this was a very humbling experience. It was very interesting. Okay, but I'm just blessed and I just thank God that, you know, I still have life. There's still another day. All right. And just like I said in that song, joy and pain, but the sun got to come out. Right. So the sun has to come out. So it's a new day. I miss my G.O.B.E Trade House family. I want to thank everybody for, you know, your prayers and your support. You know, I've been getting messages from everybody, just checking on me and just seeing how I'm doing and seeing how my family's doing. I definitely, man, I love you guys. I appreciate that. Those words and those messages while we were going through this out here in Houston, Texas, really, really meant a lot to me. Okay, and I really appreciate that. But hey, you know, I'm back. All right, I'm ready to get back to work. We got a lot of stuff that we have to do. All right, inside of G.O.B.E Trade House, we have so much coming up down the pipeline, leading on until March 1st. So I'm really excited about everything that we have going on. I'm glad I have Wi-Fi. All I need is electricity and Wi-Fi. All right, and I could get to work. I could get to do what I have to do. All right. So again, guys, thank you for your prayers. All right, those prayers definitely meant a lot. All your kind words meant a lot going through this time. It was pretty serious. It was a lot more serious than a lot of people would have expected. I'm sure you guys have been following this stuff on social media, right? So it's very, very interesting. I just pray that this doesn't happen again. But if it does, I just hope that the city is more prepared next time, right? That's all I'm hoping for, okay? So, but other than that, guys, when we start off the call, I just want to see, guys, do we have any new people in the house today? If this is your first time on a Coffee in the Morning with G.O.B.E, okay, or you're just now getting started inside of G.O.B.E Trade House, can we get a 111 in the chat? And I see all you guys' comments. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can we get a 111 in the chat? Do we have any new people in the house? I saw we had a chunk of new people get started. And if you are inside of G.O.B.E, okay, Ariel, welcome, welcome. And to our G.O.B.E Trade House family, please, if you have new people that get started, try to get them on Coffee in the Morning with G.O.B.E as soon as possible, all right? That way we can welcome them. They can get a good introduction to our culture. Matt L, welcome. Let me hit mute 1 second. Boom. All right. Ariel, Matt. All right. So G.O.B.E Trade House, you guys know how we do. Let's go ahead and welcome our new family members. Go ahead and unmute yourself, type welcome and drop some dollar signs. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Welcome
to the family. Welcome to the family. Congratulations for taking the first step towards your financial freedom.
There you go, Jordan.
Absolutely. Absolutely. By the way, this is my first cup of coffee in about a week too, so I really missed the Bustelo as well. So I'm glad.
Go get you some.
So, hey, welcome to our family. We try to create an environment where you're celebrated, not just tolerated. All right. Understand you did not just join a business. You joined a brotherhood and a sisterhood. Okay. We are financial fraternity and sorority that practices group economics, all right, by way of Forex education and trade signals sent out by our sniper analyzers. Okay. So definitely welcome aboard. My best advice to you is to network with people inside of this group. Iron sharpens iron. We have so many skilled people in this group, entrepreneurs, not just on the chart, but just in general. Whether you want to build a customer subscription-based business, all right, and start building your bill eliminator, which is the residual income side of G.O.B.E, or whether you just want to become a master trader and just stay a customer. Network with people inside the group. Everybody in this group is definitely here to help you. We have your best interests at heart. Okay. Another piece of advice: try your best to tie into the G.O.B.E Trade House culture. If you attend Coffee in the Morning with G.O.B.E, okay, just an hour a day, Monday through Friday. If you attend a trade session, maybe it's the Asian session, or maybe it's the London, whatever suits your time frame. All right, build your schedule within the schedule. Okay, if you do that over a 60 to 90-day period, I assure you will start having breakthroughs. And we have so many people in here, definitely are having breakthroughs in 60 to 90 days. I mean, I could go over so many testimonies. Okay, so definitely welcome aboard. I really appreciate you guys want to be part of our family. All right. So before we go ahead and get started, guys, I just wanted to drop a couple nuggets because even though there's some things that happen inside, even though there's some historic events that just took place, weather events, all right, when something like this happens globally, that means there's going to be a huge change in the market. Okay, there's going to be a huge change in the market. So the reason why I have this up here, all right, I have this up here for a reason. I just don't have this up here just because it looks pretty. I want you guys to start looking at oil. Okay, I used to trade oil. All right, made a lot of money on oil. I'm about to get started back on oil. In fact, on the G.O.B.E Academy, I'm going to drop a training on how to actually trade oil with the oil news. Okay, so the oil news comes out every Wednesday morning. I believe it's at 9 a.m. Every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. I'll go ahead and double back, check it, but it's every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. A huge change in the market takes place.
Grammarly helps make your writing clear and concise, no matter where you are. Compose a cover letter that stands out, thanks to flawless writing and compelling word choice. Inspire your team with a presentation.
All right. I don't want any Grammarly. All right. I'm talking about oil. All right. So the Texas storm caused epic drop in U.S. oil production. Texas storm caused epic drop in U.S. oil production. Now, let me ask you guys a question. All right. We're talking about supply and demand. All right. We're talking about supply and demand. Now that we've had an epic drop in oil production, let me ask you guys a question in the chat. What do you think was going to happen in the market? Do you think the price of oil is going to shoot up? Is it going to increase or decrease? Give me a 111. Okay. If it's going to rise, give me a 111 in the chat. If you think it's going to fall, give me a 222. Okay. Okay. So everybody's pretty clear. Supply and demand. Okay. I can tell you guys right now, out here in Houston, Texas, there's not a lot of gas. All right. So people are struggling trying to find gas stations so they could fill up. Okay. They're driving all over the city. Now, I know that more is coming in because now the sun is out, but it's been very difficult for this week. So this happened earlier in the year. I've already watched this take place. After Harvey hit, oh, I made a huge bag on oil. Okay, because the same thing took place in the market. All right, oil production dropped, people were buying up barrels, and then the price of oil shot up completely. Now, This is pretty much the calm before the storm. I want you guys to just look up articles on U.S. oil, okay, and how it's being affected. And then next week on Wednesday, because the oil news hits right around coffee in the morning with G.O.B.E, I think we might be able to catch a big bag on oil next week when the news hits. All right. I'm going to be hawking oil all week. I know a lot of you guys haven't traded oil before, but oil, the price on oil is different. Okay. One thing about oil that I really like is that, for example, let's look at the price on oil. The current price on oil is $59.72 a barrel. All right. Now, do you guys see how it says 70? Right now it's rising on the right-hand side where it says 74 cents. The thing with oil is every cent in the market, okay, every time the price changes at least 1 cent when it comes to oil is 1 pip. I'm going to say that again, okay? Every cent. So if it goes from 72 to 73 cents, that's 1 pip, okay? That's how pips are calculated with oil, all right? So if we're able to catch a dollar move in the market, okay, from 59 to $59 to $60, we're talking about a 100 pip move. That's huge, okay? 100 pip move. So if oil ends up shooting up next week, let's say, for example, let me pull back just a little bit. Pull back just a little bit. All right. Pull up these candlesticks. I'm on the 15-minute chart. Let's go to the 4-hour. Matter of fact, let's go to the day chart. Check the history just a little bit. Okay, so we do see that the oil does have potential to shoot all the way up. Yeah, at one point it was about $100 a barrel. Now, I don't see it doing that, but even if it hits to this next resistance point right here, I would be content with that. And I'll tell you why. All right, we're talking about $77 a barrel. So even if we caught this move next to this resistance point, and let me come right here, boom. Okay, I know for sure, I believe that it's at least gonna take off, because this was a historic event, so these moves are gonna take place. All right. So if we're talking about, let me pull out my calculator. Let me show how many pips that is. From where we're at now, which is $59 a barrel to resistance, we're talking about roughly 77 minus 56. We're talking about around a 2100 pip move to resistance. 2100 pip move to resistance. All right. So you guys put $1 in the market, you can imagine how much money that you can make just on it coming up and tapping our resistance mark. But because this is a historic event, what if it breaks? So this is the move I want to see to take place on oil. I'm going to have my sniper analyzer on this right here. And let me get another, let's see, from 77. I don't know if it's going to go all the way up to $100 a barrel, but if it does, it could wick up there and then come back down. But this is the real move I want to see that's going to take place. All right, that's a big move in the market, about a 2,000 pip move. All right. Okay, so what I want to do, we're going to watch this throughout the week, but I think when the news hits next Wednesday, I think we're at least going to be able to catch this move to resistance. All right. I'm going to have some more information, more training on oil, but you guys do your own research. Okay. Do your own research, check the news. The news is the main thing that's going to affect the markets when it comes to US oil. All right. But we want to take advantage. We are tied to all of these world events. You know, good thing about the Forex, when we're trading on MT4, I mean, we could trade metals. All right, we could trade cryptocurrencies. All right, we could trade commodities, oil, we could trade currencies. So we just don't want to be limited to just one thing. Okay. All these things we want to master. And with our analyzers and our strategies, all these things work on each one of these pairs. All right. Our strategies work on each one of these pairs. Okay. But I just want to say oil, the news is one of the main things that affects oil rising or falling. All right. So we want to take advantage. We're now hawking oil. Okay. And I just want to show you guys that because I think we're going to be able to eat on this next week. And I will be on the lookout on it next Wednesday, early in the morning on Coffee in the Morning with G.O.B.E. All right. Let me go ahead and stop my screen share. All right, boom. Okay, so with that being said, I know we had some trades yesterday. I want to go ahead and bring up our brother Joe Threats. I know he's going to do some trade reviews, drop some nuggets, okay, and then we're going to pass it to our sister D. She has something for us this morning. So Joe, how you feeling this morning, brother?
I'm doing well. Good morning, everybody. Glad to have you back, Kenny. Glad to have you back.
Man, glad to be back. Thank you, brother.
All right, before I get into the trade review, I did want to mention, I'll talk briefly about discipline and visions, right? We talk about discipline all the time. We talk about vision all the time. But I did want to talk about it a little bit more, right? Because it never hurts. Well, in the good book that says, where there's no vision, the people perish. So if you look at the word perish, it just means they pretty much throw out self-control. So that means they just started running crazy. They just start doing everything, right? And then when we talk about discipline, discipline is it's a self-imposed standard for the sake of a higher goal. So we know we have goals in trading forex. We have goals in life, and basically, if we have a higher goal in mind, we need to find that vision that's going to be strong enough to keep us disciplined. And so, with that being said, if we find a vision that imposes discipline on your life, so pretty much let's say this. So find a vision that imposes discipline on your life. So I mean, find that vision. Like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, had that vision post or had that vision board, write things down. And then that way it'll become repetition. You see it every day. It's going to develop a discipline for yourself to allow you to stay motivated, to stay on course, and to stay on point with everything, right? So again, just find that discipline, find that vision, and then we're going to pretty much be able to see whatever we visualize, we're going to be able to have it come to pass. So I just wanted to mention that real quick. I can go deep on that, but I'm gonna just get right into the trade review. So let me share my screen with everybody. All right, so if everybody can see my screen, we're just gonna go from a nice little play, right? And we're gonna let it ride out. This is NZD Chef. This was a call that we made on the London session last night. And so as it play out, I want you to look in your head and see or ask yourself what type of trend we're on. What is the market structure? Let me see if I can do this at the
bullish.
Cool. And we know that because we're creating higher highs, right? We're creating higher highs. So automatically in our head, we're looking for buy opportunities in the market, right? So with that being said, we have our support resistance marked up. We have our trend lines if need be marked up. and we have our candlesticks, and we kind of know what the next move was going to be, right? So I'm gonna let it continue to play out. It's almost finished, I believe. And so if you can see here, if I can do this at the same time, the structure of the market hasn't broken, right? It hasn't broken. So we still bear, we're still bullish. And we're on a 1 hour time frame. So it's a lot of candles being created here. It's a lot of movement being made in the markets, right? We still haven't broke that previous structure of that the swing low here, so we still bullish. So we're still looking for buy opportunities. We was at a level of support right here. This was the level of support, which I have on this in a second. So we're looking for buy opportunities in the market. So let me put on my marks from previously, right? All right, and so overall, this was all this past week. It's been going back and forth between this support and this resistance, right? And so if you remember, I made a box because it was in slight consolidation in this period right here. So our goal was to actually be disciplined and wait to make sure we follow our rules in the market, right? So I'm gonna go to the 30-minute time frame because that's where I like to try to get my entry points at. And so if we have our moving averages on here, we have our 10, we have our sniper analyzer, we get good confirmations from the market, right? So with that being said, I think when we first opened up the London session, I had just watched this. I was watching this pair because it's one of my pairs. So what ended up happening was we had a situation to where we had a nice bullish candle, came back and retested our moving average because that's nothing more than a support, right? And so immediately after that, before I even doing anything else, I knew we was bullish. I knew what the market just gave us with this candle retesting our 10. And I said, let's get in on this trade. So our entry point was that next candle. And that's kind of how we want to make sure we get our sniper entries because we knew that it was going to be a very bullish candle, which it did, right? And so what happened after that? We had a goal to get 10 pips, which you can see here. We had a goal to get those 10 pips, which we got in no time. And then we also got another 15 pips. We wasn't trying to be greedy because we knew that this was a level of resistance, right? So we knew that we got 10, 15 pips on the trade. That's a good day. That's a good trade. But for anybody that kind of like stayed up or actually just followed this pair, you stayed up overnight, all the night owls, that's a total of about 60, 59, we'll just say 59 pips on this trade if you stayed in it, right? And it's currently doing what it's previously did in the past. You see we have a nice bullish trend and followed by a slight retracement, then a pull up, it came back up, and then it's doing the same exact thing right here. But it is Friday. We do know that the market closed in a couple of hours, but this is something that we can be on the lookout for again. So we was able to get a good sniper entry and smash at least those 15 pips for sure. But if you stayed in the trade, like I just said, you was able to get at least another 50. You'd been able to get 50 pips off this trade. So that's the trade review for NZD-JPY. We caught a buy on it, and we caught at least 10 to 15 pips, and possibly more if you stayed in it. So, and so with that being said, the London session is honestly where it's at. We have our Asian session, and that kind of gives us a good opportunity to mark up the charts on a live session. But if you can find that, if your vision is strong enough to where you want to succeed and catch a lot of pips in the market, then you find that vision and that discipline to be on those London sessions. Because I knew it was very volatile to be on those London sessions, but I didn't have enough, I would say, discipline to stay up or to sacrifice a little bit of sleep. So moving forward, myself, I know I'm gonna be on those London sessions. So that's what I have for the London trade review from last night.
Absolutely. Great trade review, Joe. Great trade review. I couldn't agree with you more. So sometimes on the Asian session, we do get a good trade on the Asian session, depending on what's happening in the market. But obviously, we don't want to force it. We don't want to force any trades. We do not force trades inside our Go.B Trade House. We'll mark it up as a solo alert. SOLO stands for stay on the lookout. Okay. And we're basically setting an alert for it. Well, it'll alert us. All right. And then we'll go back and we'll get into that trade at the correct entry point. So sometimes we will get a trade, or we may get it after the call, maybe an hour or two after the call, and we'll send out the signal. But a lot of those markups that we're doing, the Asian session is the perfect time to mark up for the London. Have you guys noticed that? All right, it's the perfect time to mark up for the London. And sometimes right when we get into that trade, when the London session hits and the Euro markets and the Euro economy starts churning, boom, those 10 pips is a piece of cake, all right, in the London session. So I would say, guys, try to incorporate the London if you can. But again, try to make your schedule within the schedule. Try to make your schedule within the schedule, guys, because I know the London session sometimes can be tough because you're going to get sleepy, all right, depending on how much you're doing, especially at a full-time job. You got kids, all right, you just have all right, the burden of life in general. And then it's like, oh, I got to stay up for the London session. But listen, guys, this is something you're going to learn a lot from. And you also have opportunity to make a lot of money on the London session because of how the markets move. Okay. So other than that, with that being said, guys, great trade review, Joe. I'm going to go ahead and pass it to D. D, how you feeling this morning?
I'm blessed, Kenny. Thank you, and welcome back. I'm so happy you guys are finally getting back. Good to see Carlos on camera, and welcome back. So, doing good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The floor is yours.
Actually, Kenny, if you can give me permission to share my screen, I'm not going to do it just yet, but if you have that enabled. So you guys, first, I guess my mind shift went to a different place when Joe was talking about vision. And with vision, when you have a vision, something has to transform, right? Do you agree? 111 if you agree. Something has to transform if you have a vision. And so when he was talking about vision, it took me back to something that one of my mentors used to kind of talk about, or actually still does. And did you know that in order to transform, I should say, transformation comes through a transaction? Have you guys heard that? Has anybody heard that? Put a 222 if you guys have heard transformation comes through a transaction. Yes, that's good. So you guys may have heard what I'm getting ready to share, but for those of you guys that haven't heard anything or haven't heard what I'm about to share, it's just kind of breaking down that whole sentence. So if you break down the word transform, the word trans, that base root word comes from, it's a Latin word that means, it's come from verb roots that mean, it refers to movement or to carry through from one place to another. I'm trying to see what's in the chat too. Okay. I'm all over the place here, y'all, so bear with me. So it means to carry through or to go from one place to another. So if you're going to be working on vision and you need to transform, you need to carry it from one place to the other to get through to that vision, right? And so the next thing it says, and then also you want to go through that change of a formation. So formation. So when we talk about formation, transformation, whether we're talking vision or we're just talking ourselves, you want to be able to build, right? You want to be able to grow, and that's the formation. So you want to change and go through a new form. And so, for example, building a network. So maybe you don't consider yourself a salesperson. Maybe you don't consider yourself an entrepreneur, but you want to grow, and you're here to grow, and we're here to provide you with the tools that you can. So if you've never done anything like that before, the resources are here. And so, build that network. and transform. And so then transformation comes through transaction. So again, through an action, transaction. So you must go through an action to make that vision come into fruition. So you have to take action. And you guys have taken action by even joining our community and be a part of this community. Now, with all the members that we have in our community, I don't know how many of them regularly get on the live sessions. I know we see pretty much the same people on the Coffee with G.O.B.E meetings. And you know, people are still working and have other things going on, but at the same time, it's still taking action. You have to take action for your own growth and that vision, getting to that vision. So if you're not taking time to go back into the replays and you're just jumping into this business and expecting everybody to just give you the answers, you're never going to learn it for yourself. You have to go learn it, take action for yourself, okay? And that wasn't even what I was going to talk about, but when Joe talked about vision, it just took me down. Transformation comes through transaction. So what I wanted to talk about was the journey. Well, before I say that, let me ask, how many of you guys consider yourself an entrepreneur? Let me get a 222 in the chat. Okay. Okay, good. That's awesome. So we are a community of entrepreneurs, if that's fair to say. There's a good majority of us that consider ourselves entrepreneurs. Now, whether you're promoting G.O.B.E Trade House or you're promoting something else, as a business owner, an entrepreneur, I wanted to share with you guys the journey of an entrepreneur. And I want to tie it back a little bit to whether you're, doing something with G.O.B.E, which I hope that you are, because, I mean, this commission structure is just so generous. But still, tapping into the journey of an entrepreneur. So I wanted to share this with you. And I'm going to give a shout out to Joe, because when he did a visual for everybody the other day, I thought it was really helpful. And I don't necessarily consider myself a visual learner specifically, but I realize that for those people that are, if there's information that I can provide visually as I'm talking, then I'm going to share it. So I'm going to go ahead and share this. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So the journey of the entrepreneur, I want to go through as quickly as possible. The first stage is a hustler. Hold up here, I lost something. So the thing is that understanding your business stage, if it's okay for me to talk to the entrepreneurs this morning, understanding your business stage tells you where to focus on your business, okay? And it's funny because this camera's falling here, so bear with me. As I was going through kind of just breaking down this information and reviewing, I should say, just the information and what I want to go over, it made me think about our whole journey with G.O.B.E. And, coming from being with another company and now evolving to our own independent company. But anyway, understanding your business stage. So while there's no universal guide to being a successful entrepreneur, the key is growing to understanding where you are in your journey. So that's what I wanted to share this morning. So the first stage is a hustler. Let me get back over here. It's not letting me prompt. Here we go. So in that aspect, you're managing all aspects of the business. Nothing happens without you. And mastering sales is crucial. So in order to produce, you need to master your sales, okay? So whether you're selling G.O.B.E Trade House membership, or you're selling real estate like me or Carlos, or selling credit repair services like I know my sister Michelle out there does. I'm not sure what everybody else is doing, but you need to master your sales skill, okay? And that's really going to come down to how you're communicating with people and what you're offering people. And the key thing on that is and I've said it before, and I feel like I've said it to us before in this group, but you want to hone in on what the pain point is for that person. So in Go.B Trade House, it's interesting because the pain point for a lot of people is, I want more money. I want more money. I need to make more money. And there's a definite way that you can definitely make a lot of money very fast in Go.B Trade House and trading Forex, but you can lose a lot of money too. And so you have to be mindful of the pain point that you're really serving for that person. Because when you're talking to customers and we're promoting copy, paste, profit, run up the bag, we have to keep it 100 with them and let them know that trading is an industry where it's not 100% foolproof. Otherwise, everybody would be doing it. There's going to be losses. It's learning how to mitigate those losses. It's learning how to manage risk management. Okay, so just those things. So mastering the sales skill. Don't paint the picture of what's not real. Okay, so that's all I'm saying about that. So the next section is the experimenter. So that's when you get to the point of where it's time to focus on the business. Again, we talked about mastering sales. Let's see here. And you learn how to scale your business. And so let's see here. I've got a couple notes. So one of the things about scaling your business is building your team of entrepreneurial generalists. So they can be general people, maybe Forex is not necessarily their strong suit in terms of sales, but if they know how to sell, build your force and your team with generalists that'll be comfortable wearing many hats. I mean, I'm not a master trader by title, if you will. But at the same time, I know that there's other people in our community that I can connect them to if they want to become master traders for themselves. So leverage that, you guys. We have it here for you. And again, focus on the business. And so at this point, that's when you're able to prove that when you've reached this point of an experimenter, you've proven that your business is not just a hobby. You're actually creating income. So maybe you've got your first sales people in there, the first 1 or 2 customers, and it's not just a hobby, and you're going to take action to identify what resonates with your audience. And so at this point is a good time to establish quality control standards. So going back to quality control of whatever it is your business is, but establishing those standards of how that business is presented. So again, going back to Forex is not get rich quick, it is a skill set. Okay, so the next section is when you move on from the experimenter, you become the visionary. And at that point, you have to, at this point, you've grown your business organically, which allows you to work on the business. Okay, and you start being able to delegate that sales hat. And then you hone your leadership skills. And so as you're bringing people along your journey and they're joining Go.B Trade House with you, when I say delegate the sales hat, that's connecting with the people that you're bringing into your team and holding them accountable to make sure that they're getting the information on how to grow their own business. Now, maybe they're an entrepreneur in another aspect, but they're not necessarily looking at Go.B Trade House as an opportunity. And that's where you can create an accountability partner to even just get on Mike's trainings at 4:30. Is it 4:30? 5:30. It's 4:30 my time. 5:30 Central, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and get some great nuggets on what they can be doing right now to grow their business. And even if you're not doing every single thing that he's telling you, he's giving you scripts. He's giving you all kinds of things that you can just grow from. Okay. But you just want to hone that leadership skill and make sure that your people that you're bringing along are tapping into that. So that's the visionary. The next level is the systemizer. Okay. And so at this point, you've built a leadership team that will enable you to pull away from the everyday activity. And so you're able to grow a team but you can use the guardrails put in place to support scaling up. You guys, you are given a website as soon as you become a member of Go.B Trade House. That's a system. You just got to learn how to plug people into that system. And so basically, those are the guardrails we have in place to continue to scale up. The other guardrails we have in place is our affiliate agreement. So making sure that people understand that as an affiliate, there are some rules and regulations that they need to follow, okay? But at the same time, at this time, when you become a systemizer, you're able to develop your top leaders and navigate the roles within your organization to build systems around your leaders. So this system, which is your personal URL link, you and your leaders should be able to have something in place that's driving people to that link. And we've got great people within Go.B Trade House that have amazing skill sets for marketing and building information, whether it's a landing page, website, whatever, that can direct people right back to your Go.B Trade House link. And so putting that system in place. So that's the systemizer. And then the last journey step is the influencer. And so the influencer is when you have the right people, the right systems, the right product or service in place, and you can continue to mitigate your risks. And you're keeping those right people around you to push the limits of your team and create a culture of performance, okay? And then you give your trusted leaders freedom to lead others, okay? Freedom to lead others. And so we're all entrepreneurs. A good majority of us are entrepreneurs. And we want to grow. Part of that growth is taking accountability to grow other people. So be vested in your business. Be vested in the people that you bring into this journey and along on this journey with you. And just focus on trying to grow that piece of business that can truly be, it's another stream of income. So if you're an entrepreneur, or even if you didn't think you were an entrepreneur, I hope that this resonates with you and you're able to get some nuggets out of this. And I guess with that being said, I'm not going to take up any more time. I'm going to pass it back over to you, Kenny.
Thank you so much, Dee. Thank you. Hey, can we get some $signs in the chat for Dee for putting together that presentation? That was amazing. That was amazing. I hope you guys took a picture of that. All right. Hope you took a picture of that journey of entrepreneur. She's absolutely right. Absolutely right, guys. Everything that she put on that slide, that was really good, Dee. And Dee, again, someone that you guys could duplicate, someone that you guys could follow. Look how she presents herself online. All right. Look at her Facebook page. Okay. Success leaves clues. She's having success in this business. All right. And she's somebody that you guys should definitely look at if you do want to grow the affiliate side of the business, and it's worth growing the affiliate side of the business. Okay. That residual income changes lives. Mike Taylor, guys, being someone who came from just starting this business, he hasn't even been in the business a year. All right. Starting from working in a warehouse job, now making 6 figures residually inside a Go.B Trade House. Okay. That is incredible. So I know you guys would definitely love to duplicate those type of results. And the great thing about inside a Go.B Trade House, it really doesn't take that many customers to make a 6-figure income over here. It really doesn't. All right. You're talking about maybe around 100 customers. You tie 100 people to the bot. All right. You tie 100 people to our sniper analyzer, and you really don't even have to look for recruiters. You could just sell the product. Okay. You could just sell the product and get customers. We're a customer acquisition company. We're not an MLM. We're not network marketing. Okay. We don't have any gaps. We don't have any ranks. We don't have any legs. We're not that type of business. We're more so similar to your phone bill or Netflix. We provide a service to people, and they're going to pay a monthly subscription, okay, to sustain and stay active on those services, just like how you would pay your Netflix bill or your phone bill. Okay, so you have to think about that yourselves as a franchise business owner, and you could grow it as large as you want. How many people in the chat have tried to post a Craigslist ad for just the Autobot alone? Okay. If you've already tried that, let me get a 111 in the chat. If you haven't, it's okay. 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 Abigail. Yes. Abigail reached out to me about that. Okay. I'm telling you guys, try it. So many people will pay $99 a month just for the auto bot, but they just don't know about it. I remember one time, guys, I was paying $250 a month, okay, for for an auto bot in the past. When I first got introduced to that type of technology, I was paying $250 a month for a bot, and it was nowhere near as good or as accurate as our bot. All right, especially once you guys have your parameters set right and you actually learn how to use it. All right, it was nowhere near. But people, I was just paying $250 for the bot. I didn't have any live sessions. I didn't have a sniper analyzer. I didn't have affiliate marketing program attached to it. I was just paying for the bot, and I was happy to do it. All right. And the only reason why I stopped paying for it because I never got a chance to see the results that I got on it. Okay. But other than that, I was happy to pay $250 a month just for the bot. But people don't know about what we have. You know, we have what we have in Go.B Trade House. All right, is worth way more than $99. Way more than $99. And but people just don't know about it because we're fresh and we're new, and we've only been in business roughly around 60 days, less than that, maybe 50. Okay, so try it. I want you guys to try to post. Just try it. Run an ad on Instagram. Run an ad on Craigslist. Okay, just on the services. Don't talk about the recruiting side when you're posting these type of ads. Just talk about our services, what it provides, and watch how many inquiries you get on an advertisement when you put that information out there. Okay. There's other programs that I've worked in the past. I've built certain programs just on Craigslist alone in the past. Sometimes it's hard to sustain an ad on Craigslist because if you put it in a certain type of way, you start putting money and numbers in the ad, they'll ghost your ad. Or sometimes you might get a hater that may see competition and they may report it, and then boom, your ad is gone. But you gotta be careful how you post an ad. I do have a Craigslist training in the back office on how to post an ad, okay, in the gig session. All right, that's an affiliate marketing training in the back office. You guys want to check it out. And if you guys are interested, maybe we could do something, a new one on a Coffee with Go.B maybe next week or something like that. But just give it a try. You might get 30 or 40 inquiries, all right, of people saying how much to access this bot, and you may convert a portion of that. And every person that you convert is an upfront instant residual income. Why not build your residuals, guys? Why not eliminate those bills? Okay. So with that being said, let me go ahead and pass to our brother Carlos Pond. Carlos, I see you have a interesting background right there. You're underwater in the sea, right?
Yeah, man.
How you feeling,
man? Doing good, man. I was just about to sneeze. I had one of those moments where the sneeze didn't come out. So, hey, I hope everybody's doing good today. D, that overview that you did, that was immaculate. It brings me back to when I first started seeing D. When D was first brought into the business, and I started scoping her out real quick, from the other side. I started realizing I'm like, this young lady right here, she's gonna be a monster. She's gonna be something serious. So I already knew based off of her profile. You could kind of tell off of people's Facebooks what they post. It's not judging or anything. It's just really, evaluation. Like I feel like jobs nowadays should actually go and look at somebody's Facebook and use it as a resume, or resume, whatever. But whenever I looked at Dee's profile back in the day, or months ago, I was like, all right, yeah, she's something serious, because she's not afraid to put herself out there. Her Facebook is very brandable, so that was something that I realized. One thing about me, one of my specialties is that I could see people's gifts, and I'm pretty sure you could have that gift too. Anyways, don't want to get off track. So with this background, there's a reason that I put this background. All right. And it's because one, I'm a very adventurous person. All right. I'm very adventurous. And one thing that I want to go ahead and do with everybody that we need to petition for Kenny Jordan to go ahead and go skydiving. We need to make that happen. That's happening. We're gonna petition it. We're gonna make it happen. So we're gonna petition.
Not happening, Jack. Not happening.
We're gonna get outvoted real quick. So who's that? All right. I'm in the middle.
I know, babe, you can continue talking.
All right. So look, do these look familiar, Kenny? No.
Yeah, I'm always leaving stuff over there. So yeah, you
These
got
yours?
my glasses, my other glasses.
I got them.
Bring my glasses back, man. Come on.
You know, I'll probably see you later on today. Anyways, all right. So back to the background. All right. So on Netflix, there's this I don't know if it's considered a documentary. It's called My Octopus Teacher, right? My Octopus Teacher. And while we were going through this mini pandemic in Houston, you know, I went ahead and sat back when I got electricity, because I got lucky. I had to be by NASA. I got the chance to be by NASA, and they didn't shut off the lights over there. So, but I was still out of like internet reception. My phone was still, you know, messing up. Regardless, what, I decided to go ahead and watch this quick little documentary. I encourage everybody to watch it. Encourage everybody to watch it. Why though? We can learn a lot from our surroundings. I'm pretty sure that the overview that Dee just presented came from information that she's obtained, either whether it was in real estate teachings, you know, or seminars. Like, you just never know. The thing about us human beings is that we're very resilient, you know, and I love that word. Since people started using it, you know, it's almost like expedite. I learned the word expedite from Kenny Jordan a few years ago, and I completely watered it down. And now that resilience is part of my vocabulary, I'm about to water that down too. So whenever I was watching this overview, or not overview, but this My Octopus Teacher, basically, to make this long story short, this guy, he basically needed a way to entertain himself, you know, and he started swimming in this, I don't know if it was his backyard. I don't even know. He started going to this place, went there for a whole year. And just the fact that he was out there by himself in the ocean, this is something that Kenny Jordan would never do, you know. but somebody like me, I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, that looks like a lot of fun, because I'm a very adventurous person. I'd rather do it with a group than to do it outside of here. And one of our actual G.O.B.E affiliates or members is actually a diver. Her name's Ashley Colwell, but she actually dives, you know. So one day, you know, we'll probably, you know, set that up. I want to get my scuba diving license, all that extra stuff. But anyways, in the midst of him documenting what was out underwater, he fell in love with this particular octopus, you know. I don't know if he named it. He just called it she, you know. So in the process of doing so, he got to see how resilient the octopus was, and how, see, they say that an octopus is almost as smart as a cat, you know, and cats are pretty smart. They're pretty resilient themselves. They're like self-aware, right? And they self-independent. They have the litter box. They could go outside. They come back as long as food. They're coming back to some food. The octopus, eventually it started getting close to him. It started trusting him, you know. But the resilience in this octopus was the fact that he's around all these other predators, right? Or she's around all these other predators. These predators are trying to devour her, particularly these certain type of sharks, you know. And I don't want to spoil the Netflix for you, but, or the episode, but when you're underwater in this wild forest underwater, you could imagine that you're gonna have to get resilient as far as survival, right? And the same goes for our lives. We have to get resilient, whether it's floods, snows, blizzards, you know, tsunamis. You know, we have to get resilient based off of what comes our way. So one part that actually made me like completely in awe as far as this octopus is that at one point in time, it was attacked by a shark, and it lost the tentacle. Eventually, the tentacle or whatever, the octopus leg, eventually ended up growing back. You know, so it grew back, which was crazy. I call that resilience, right? Resilience in Mother Nature, right? But what ended up happening next is that it learned from that. It basically learned. So it took that leg bite, right? And then what ended up happening is that it learned. It healed back up. It took about a month or like a whole month for it to completely heal up. And what happened next was maybe a few months later, because an octopus only has like a year lifespan, which is crazy. I thought it would have lived a lot longer, but it only had like a 1 year lifespan. Regardless of what, the next time a shark came and attacked the octopus, and by the way, I'm going to use this as a training one of these days, you know, the octopus theory or something, who knows, you know, the resilience in learning from Mother Nature, right? So eventually another shark, or maybe the same shark, came and attacked the octopus, right? And this time the octopus outwitted the shark. Basically, the shark was attacking, and next you know, the octopus got on top of the shark. And now the shark couldn't do nothing. You know, the shark couldn't, you know, because the shark doesn't have a neck, you know, it couldn't do anything. So what I'm basically telling y'all to do is go watch it and see what you get out of it, you know, because everything that we do nowadays, you need to go ahead and absorb, you know, all the information that you're getting, all of it. Even if it's senseless information, there's something that you can learn. I was taught at an early age that every day we're learning something new, you know, so you should always, you know, be attentive to that. Be attentive to the fact that you can learn each and every day, and you can learn from Mother Nature, the resilience of Mother Nature, the resilience of animals, mammals, whales, dolphins, blase. In particular, this particular Netflix documentary is about an octopus. And I just thought that was very resilient, you know. So for everybody out there that's actually, you know, you're in life, you're going through turbulence, you're going through all this stuff, everything is the same as when we were in the wild or in the wild. You have to adapt to everything that's given to us. And right now you're part of G.O.B.E, you know, you're in these charts, you're watching the news, you're looking at cryptocurrency, you're looking at Forex, you're looking at oil. You know, you have to remember we're G.O.B.E Trade House, not just G.O.B.E Forex Trade House or G.O.B.E Trade House, where we trade, you know, commodities, indices, so on and so forth. So you're not just going to stay in just one lane. You know, you're going to get broad when it comes to the trade house. But in the process, it's all about becoming resilient. Okay, become resilient, become adaptive, you know, and learn from Mother Nature. You know, learn from what Mother Nature is teaching us. You know, example, Holton Buggs always talked about this particular monkey. It's called a spider monkey, and the spider monkey, the way that the hunters actually hunted is that they put candy in a tree or in a bottle, right? And what happens is that the spider monkey reaches into this hole, and it wants all this candy, but it's so greedy that when his hand is full, it can't come out of the hole. So it can't come out of the hole, right? And that's because it's greedy. You know, it won't let go of the little bit that it has for the freedom that it could have, right? Because if it let go of the little bit of candy, the hunter wouldn't come and put a noose around it and catch it. If it let go of the little bit of little candy that it was holding, he would be able to run away and be set free. That in our lives is an example of the little bit of people that are holding on to in their life, rather than going into the possibilities of obtaining so much greatness, so much freedom. You know, so people are holding on to that job they've been at for the last 20 years, you know. But if they just necessarily not let go of the job, but let go of the little bit of candy, they'll have this you know, this great freedom, you know. So I had something great that just came on my mind and flew out one ear and out the other. It's gone. But at the end of the night, man, just continue to adapt, continue to do what you're doing. And D, I'm going to call you after this because I have an idea with your overview that you just did, you know. So other than that, don't want to run on. Be resilient today. Go ahead. And I like what Joe and everybody said, how the Asian session is in preparation of the London session. I thought that was very powerful. And another thing that I want to tell Joe is that your lunch and learns are extremely powerful, Joe, you know, like extremely powerful. A lot of people don't, when people are and you're sharing this information out there, don't forget to tell them about lunch and learns, because a lunch and learn is basically like a lesson each and every day that Joe comes and he does on his free will, you know, and it's extremely powerful. You know, it's something that nobody has. Nobody has that hands-on training out there in the world, you know, so or in any other company. With that being said, I'll backdoor what Kenny said. And you have to remember that when we talk about residuals, whatever you make in a week is what you make the next following month. So if I broke this down yesterday during the overview, that if you're making $1,000 based off of, you know, the customer acquisition that you have brought, well, you're getting paid that same residual the same following month. So an example, if your residual is $500 on the first week of this month, then your residual, you know, will potentially be that same the next week. So if your residual is 500 on the first week, your residual is $3,000 on the 4th week. Your residual is another $500 on the 2nd week. Then that alone is already what? If I did my math right, over $4,500, but you got paid weekly residuals off of it. So that alone is mind blowing when you really put some thought into it and you really think about what's going on and the way that we're being paid out and the way that we're paying out. It's completely ridiculous. Like, people don't have what we have, you know, and that's why I know for a fact that G.O.B.E is the Netflix of the Forex industry, or of the financial trading community industry. That is my time. Thank you so much, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and hand it back over to you, Kenny. You know, just want to go ahead and talk about the octopus and go from there. You know?
Definitely. Thank you. I actually think that was a really, really good message. Thank you for that, Carlos, because life is about adapting. All right. Same thing on the charts. You have to be able to adapt to your losses. Okay. If you lose, the best thing you could do is study to figure out why you lost, and you adapt to it. Okay. You adapt to the reasons why you lost, and then you're going to go ahead and get better next time around. And it's all about adapting in the Forex world, and that's across the board in life. You have to adapt, all right? Losing, all right, taking losses is a part of life, guys. The only way that you don't get better and get to your season is when you quit and when you give up on yourself, all right? But you have to continue to adapt. You take a loss, okay, you fell forward. You take a step forward. You take a loss, you fell forward, you take a step forward. And then finally, boom, you have an Alfonso day and you make $600,000 in a week. Okay, so, but if you give up, you never know when that day is gonna come. But we're working with that type of machine. We're working with this type of community, and we're working with these type of strategies where you can have that type of week. We have someone in our program who has already done it in front of our face this past week. Shout out to our sniper analyzer, Alfonso. I need to hit him up later and see where he's at now. He's probably a millionaire. So probably a millionaire already. All right. With that being said, guys, if you have a commission, if you earned a commission last week, please go ahead and fill out the form at www.gobecommissions.info. And we will go ahead. We just need your payment method. We want to get the commission out to you. I don't know. There's some people who just won't fill out the form, and the commission just sitting there. So please fill out the form so we could send you your commission. All right. Please fill out the form, and gobecommissions.info. All we need is your payment method, and boom, it's going to hit your PayPal, your Zelle, or whatever payment method that you select on the form. Okay. Matter of fact, if you're expecting a residual payout today, let me get some $ in the chat, because today is a payday. We get paid every single Friday inside of G.O.B.E Trade House. Let's get some $ in the chat for all the residual earners today. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. I know we have a lot of people that we have to commission out today. So myself and Carlos in our department, we're going to go ahead and get on it very soon after the call. And I believe we have a lunch and learn today. Joe, are we doing one right after the call?
Yes, sir. And just real quick, we're gonna speak it into existence that Alfonso is about to make his first million in this weekend, and he might already done it. Just for the fact that Bitcoin did shoot up to 54K this morning, and I know he don't miss anything. So we're gonna speak that into existence for our brother Sniper. So with that being said, yes, we do have a lunch and learn today. And what I want to say is, you know, every Friday we try to do something where it's really hands-on, to where you can share your computer screen and show your markups, show a strategy that you might have been using that we can share with the rest of the team. So we definitely use Fridays as that opportunity where you can have hands-on experience. So we can take if everybody want to grab a lunch, we can take a 15-minute break or intermission, and we'll be right back at 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central Standard Time. Renee, just a reminder, it's been a fun week. Have you been on the Asian sessions? Have you been on the coffee calls? I mean, we've had a lot of little bloopers, but it's been definitely fun. But yeah, again, we will have an intermission, and we can go into the lunch and learn in 15 minutes.
Yeah, ready.
All right.
I just want to share this real quick. This is off of my Facebook page. So this guy's been hustling me. He's been trying to hustle me for like for like a week now. And he just posted on one of my things. He's like, making money off and with a bunch of idiots isn't success. I'm like, wow, dude, like, really? Like, you got nothing better to do in your life than to come at me with some, you don't like it, keep moving. So I guess, more of the story is don't let people try to, persuade you. And this guy just got upset because he couldn't break me. He's trying to get me to come join his team. And I said, no. I said, keep it moving. My life is with G.O.B.E. That's where I'm going to stay. And he got mad. Now he's just trying to put me down. Yeah, making money with a bunch of idiots.
Let me say this.
Just made 610,000 in 3 days. So
hey, I just had somebody try to do the same thing to me, and they were IM Academy.
Yeah, this guy's
bro.
Awesome. I love that. The reason being is because haters aren't really real. Okay, I know that's gonna sound crazy to some people. Haters is nothing more than a turnover ratio, a 10% turnover ratio. All that means is that you're exposing yourself to more people. All that means is G.O.B.E Trade House is now getting out there, and for the big boys are looking at us and they're saying, okay, well, something's going on there. Why can't we? What's going on with G.O.B.E Trade House? Haters aren't real. If you expose yourself to 10 people, you're gonna have one hater. All right. If you expose yourself to 100 people, you're gonna have 10 haters. Okay. Expose yourself to 1,000 people. All right, you're gonna have 100 haters, and that's why you see people like Beyonce and LeBron James. The reason why they have millions of haters because they expose themselves to millions of people.
Yep.
You're not doing something right if you don't have some haters. Okay, so if you want to have success, you need to expose yourself to more people, and you'll know how successful you're going to be based upon your base of haters. So all that means, David, is that you're exposing yourself to more people. Alfonso, you're exposing yourself to more people. So let's compile these haters because we use them for motivation, right? Let's compile them up. All right. So let's go ahead and close this thing out, guys. I think this has been another powerful Coffee in the Morning with G.O.B.E. This will be uploaded later on today. Everybody, go be a beast, go be great. And we'll see you guys on the Lunch and Learn and the cryptocurrency session at 1 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. All right. God bless everybody. We'll see you guys soon.